and I'm going to be talking to you about my first experience with the art opening exhibit. So for this exhibit, it was called the Trap Show, and this featured local artists and local musicians. It was located at the Glass Box, and well, from my experience, it was the complete opposite of what I was expecting. I was expecting something fancy, everybody quiet. But what I came to see was a whole bunch of young kids and people on date nights attending this event. What I saw was a whole bunch of people drinking and smoking, and well, everybody just talking about their art pieces. It was such a different experience, such a different atmosphere that I was. So apart from my experience in this new atmosphere, I will be describing, analyzing, interpreting, and judging some art pieces that I found really extraordinary throughout this exhibit. I chose a few that spoke out to me the most. It was really hard to try to take a video there because everybody was just talking and music was everywhere. And then apart from the picture that I'm gonna post of me there, it was so awkward taking that picture. Everybody was like, why are you taking a picture at the art exhibit? Okay. But I will be showing you guys some pictures. Okay, so here's the picture that I told you all. My sister actually took this picture, and you could see that the art is placed in a room that is wide and open. And yeah, this is me. Okay, and now onto the art. This is a certain collection that I found really interesting. Unlike the other ones, this one was full of charcoal and painting. There was no color at all. These were some really large pieces, and unlike the other ones, they were really small. And I'm gonna go further into detail into some of the art from this collection that I found really extraordinary. So looking at these paintings, I tried to find the name or like a side note that showed what these art pieces were made of, and I couldn't find it. However, I'm assuming it's one of the artists that are mentioned in the flyer. So going on to this picture here, we can see that it is fairly large, and the medium used is charcoal, and it is smudged to create a diffuse in the area of tone. It is obvious that the focal point is the eye. We could see a big sense of balance throughout the distribution of these elements. It looks very symmetrical. It does not look like it's missing anything. It looks really united. So from interpreting just this person's eye, you could see that there's so much emotion, so much darkness. I feel like this is just such an emotional piece of art. Overall, I think this is really good. I really enjoyed looking at this piece of art. Okay, so here we have another piece of art in the same collection. The medium here used is ink, and it is placed upon paper. There's so much detail in this painting. As we can see, there are low-key values, geometric shapes. There is smudging to add more of a depth. Also, we see hatching in the rows to create shadows. Overall, this is a very balanced piece, and what I can interpret from here is life. Life is passing. The rose is seen as life, and the clock there is signifying time is passing on. Okay, so onto another collection. This is from N. Lopez, and in this collection, we're gonna see a variety of different types of art, coming from different colors to simple lines to darker values and abstract. And these are certain pieces from this collection that I chose, and here we go. So in this collection, right in the middle, we have a picture of a man on a cotton canvas support with some ink medium. Some natural values as black and white are shown, and as well as some actual hard lines. We can see this is a very symmetrical balance and unity, and the emphasis is on the eyes. Everything around the face is pretty much dark, and in the eyes, we can see that the individual looks relaxed, but for some reason, it feels like he's been through life from the seeing of his wrinkles, and we could see that there's some wisdom in there. Overall, I think this really depicts a man who is very wise and has been through some life experiences. The same collection, I am now showing you an acrylic painting brought up on a cotton canvas support. It is obvious that it is very abstract. There is no proportion, but we can depict what it is. Even though the color scheme is very bright and complementary, we could see that within the girl, the colors seem very more dull, and she seems to look upset just by the way that the eyes are positioned. This is a very unique painting, however, it is very, very simple. One last painting I want to show from this collection is this moon brought up on this cotton canvas. Here we can see that the paint applied is through airbrush. Obviously, there was some object in the middle and it was spray painted around. It is a very it's a very even application, and it is very beautiful with the colors that they chose. I have no idea what this means. I just feel that it is fashion, like something you would want to put in your room, something chic, something relaxing to have. This is a very simple painting, yet it is very cute, and I think it's really successful in the way that they set it up. Okay, so here we have another collection. Here this is pen on top of paper, and most of this paint is done through simple dots just placed upon the paper, as well as the shadows that are in this painting are simple dots that were used with the pen. What we can see is these bottles and this piece of wood stacked on top of each other. This is a very full piece. It looks very proportionate. What I could interpret from here is just organization, I guess. I can't really connect to it. I feel it's just somebody who left a whole bunch of belongings and they're really important. Overall, I really, really enjoyed this piece. It looks like it took so much time and so much patience. This is a really successful piece of art. Another piece that I found really, really interesting was this one. I saw that the artists used contact crayon as their dry media. They used it for the coffin, the fumes, and the people. Another interesting thing that I found was that the artist took out pages from an actual book, and in those pages was words about a war. I'm not sure if it was Russia because they had incorporated Germany, Croatia, and other countries. But what you can see is that it is really, really well organized. The papers on the bottom and perfect for one to draw over it with the crayon. My interpretation of this painting is that all the people that died during the war, there's so many people grieving, and death is just fuming up in the air. It's all up in the air because it is all that is mattering during that war. Overall, I think this is a wonderful piece of art, and it is very successful in its meaning and coming across to its point. Okay, so to end my critiques of the art pieces seen in this exhibition, I chose this one precisely because since we started off the semester talking about the elements of art, and the first element of art is the line, I wanted to show how lines really have an emotion. You could see from the curved lines, it's showing motion. Um, the neutral colors here are black and white. The medium used is ink on a paper support. Um, from the lines, we could see that it is very united. All the lines are intact and form one single object. Overall, I think this is a very successful painting. They use lines in such a way that is very perfect in a way. We can see the object that is made. So overall, this was such a great experience. I did enjoy going and attending to this event. I saw a whole other side of the town that I had never seen before. Such a different experience and event to attend. I would definitely recommend to go to one if you have the chance. And I hope you like my video. Thank you so much for your time.